Pick up on none of your calls. In the parking lot, Tucson. Are you with me? When I stand with the roof gone, I pull up like Jimmy Neutron. Looking if you get a move on. Like you haul, and I know we like to go slow, but we could go faster. Money the best.
Hello, welcome in. This is reality. I forgot about this recap, baby. So we're gonna go in this order. We're going to start with I was supposed to be here earlier. I do want to apologize. My sister aunt had passed, but we're gonna go ahead and start on Belle Collective, Love and Marriage Huntsville, then Married to Medicine. Cause honey, this is a lot. Hey girl. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Sorry. Hey. Okay, so listen, we finna get into it. I'm sorry, y'all. So we're gonna do Belle Collective, Love and Marriage Huntsville, and then we're gonna get into Married to Medicine. Married to Medicine was a mess. The Met Gala, we're gonna get into that because I'm not understanding why everybody forcing everybody to pay when Eugene, them, and Toya did not pay anything. So the reunion is going to be a little interesting. Now I love Toya, but we got to be honest. Okay. So Latrice is at the doctor's office. Okay. That's where we started out at. And she said during the whole, the blood clot scare, the doctors discovered that her fibroids came back. So she's at her doctor to visit to see what's going on. At a doctor visit to see what's going on and why it's all of a sudden happened to her. And she said she can't seem to stay out of the doctor's office. So her and Cliff went to her doctor appointment. And they're sitting there waiting on the doctor. The doctor come in. You know, and she's, meeting Cliff for the first time, the doctor. And then, Latrice saying that he should be coming with her, but he always so neglectful. To start laughing. And the doctor say she glad he there. So she say the day they're discussing her surgery. And she said, oh my God. And so Latrice was like, okay, surgery, right? And then the doctor say they found the fibroids and they thinking that it may be a correlation of her fibroids, producing the blood clots, and they want to go ahead and take her fibroids out. And she was like, oh my God. And she say she feel like Latrice say she feel like her body is breaking down. And her doctor say, that's very common, which it is. And she said it's not the news she was looking for. And she say, but and Latrice said, she had fibroids before and she had to do it all over again. It's not what she's looking forward to. And she said this, hopefully this time around it works and they never come back. So, she gave her doctor a hug. They set up her for, her appointment, her surgery appointment. And she's kind of concerned. And Cliff said, he think everything is looking good. She said, besides the fibroids, that she hopes to get better because she still feel like she got too much on her and she have to have surgery and she still don't know the possible of blood clots. She says it's a lot of things going through her mind that she talked to a therapist, and she says she went to Carrie House She told him about being at Carrie House, how she went to Carrie House a few days ago, and how, they had a therapist there. And the therapist basically she felt like her and Letitia need to have a conversation one-on-one. And Cliff agreed. Y'all know Cliff was going to agree. Cliff said, yeah, you should, you need to go ahead and meet Letitia. Latrice, you need to have a one-on-one with her. You guys should sit down as civilized women and have a conversation. And Latrice said if she decides to talk to Letitia, she don't know if it will help. She said a conversation is needed, but they done this several times before and it's had no resolve. And Cliff said she need to put her feelings aside for the sake of the Bells and make it happen. And he said that's all he asking for. He said be the better person, bigger person. And Latrice said she always been a bigger person. And he said okay. So then we go to Letitia. Letitia gets ready for her photo shoot, honey. So she come in, meet her glam squad. She's doing her branding photo shoot for her talk show. She say it's for promo and press packaging. And she say even though she's dealing with so much with the Bells in her first personal life, dealing with Glenn, she's expected a flawless shoot, something great, something nice. So, as she get her makeup and glam done, the guy that's helping her, Donna, walks in, which is her executive producer, and he asks how she's doing, and she says she okay. She trying to get glam and waking up, and she says she got a lot going on. She been so stressed with situations with her husband, and she, her and Glenn had a conversation, and she basically told him, how her husband is insecure of her wanting more of working with a male as an executive producer. And he gonna want something else. And so the makeup artist stopped. Now the makeup artist is the guy, and he's catching it, honey. He looking like, say what now? And so, she basically told him, and the makeup artist say, oh wow. And so she say, you want more? She asked him, she said, just playing with her, say, you want more than me, more than work? He said, you want something else? And they started laughing. And he looking at him like he just insecure. He said, you married. He said he insecure. He just worried about her. She said she glad that he's there. He said he wanted to check in. But my thing with Glenn is I think Donald felt a little uncomfortable with that conversation. Shout out to Too Gifted, honey. Honey, he was there doing the makeup and the hair. Shout out to him. And doing Letitia makeup and hair, baby, he did great, honey. And so her friend come in, Shantae, and everything going good. She's talking to Shantae, getting her hair and makeup done. And she say, it's important for her to have Shantae because she is someone that she can trust, having that types of support, and help her stay grounded and focus on moments like this. And so, Letitia tell her about Carrie date that she had with the therapist at Carrie House, and the lady said that how, her and Latrice need to talk. And Shantae said, I just don't know, like I'm not sure because I think like Latrice said, she feel like so much. Shantae said the same thing. A lot has happened. And excuse me, y'all. And she kind of like, everybody, I feel the same way, but I feel like there's a conversation that needs to be had between the two because it is affecting the Bells. And it does need the conversation between Latrice and Letitia. And, Shantae says some people need an audience, and if the audience not there, they could be more genuine and more, everything considerate of, genuine about their feelings. And Letitia say, Letitia say her and Latrice do need to have a conversation. And it does need to happen, and she agreed upon that. And she said she doing what's best for the collective, and she very hoping and very hopefully, they'll see. So as they go, Letitia had went ahead and did her photo shoot. Everything going good. She taking her pictures. Y'all, guess who walked himself in? Glenn. Glenn walked in, honey. So Glenn is walking in while she looking cute, taking her pictures, honey. She got her, I don't know. It was like a blue, greenish, like a turquoise. It fits her. It fit her skin, the hair, the makeup. Oh my God. Everything was complimented. Baby, she looked good. She had the little blazer on suit. She had her hair done, makeup done. Everybody having a good time. They talking, they laughing, they happy. And Glenn walks in. So Glenn walks in. As he walk in, he greets everybody except for the people she worked with. He greets the makeup artist. And so he says, since he wasn't invited to the photo shoot, he invited himself, and they share locations, and he did exactly what she wanted. He said, voila, here I am. He's saying hey to everybody. And then he asks, so he get asked, hey, what you doing here, man? What's up? You wasn't supposed to be here, like that. And he like, what I'm doing here, I came to support my wife, boy. So he said, then they said, I think we good. She said, okay, I think we good. She said she shook that Glenn showed up at her photo shoot. And she say it's beyond important to get the photos that she need for her talk show. And she say, Glenn, like, what are you doing here in her confessional? So her manager say, get out, go change and get comfortable. He say, you good? He say he want to talk to Letitia. He say, let's give him, the manager say, let's give him more private. He talks about, is this why I wasn't invited? He said, I don't need, like, you didn't want me to be here to take pictures, right? He said he working the camera, like, what's going on? She said, you really doing this right now? And then he asked her son, say, I don't know. And she say, do I need to reassure you? He say, I don't need reassurance. He say, I don't understand. And so the executive producer said, hey, what's up? He came and introduced himself to Glenn. They had a conversation. Glenn say, I just want to make sure that this is just strictly business. And that it is business. And he said he should be involved in the business. And he say emails, he need to be CC'd, and phone calls, he need to be three-way. And Letitia is looking like, excuse me? Excuse me? He talking about he need to be CC'd for the emails, three-way phone calls. He need to know what's going on. This is why she said, Glenn, you're messing up. You're messing. You talking about ain't nobody got faith in me. Glenn, you are messing up. That is her business. Trust your wife. Here's my thing with Glendale. Glenn, you feel like you've done so much that she's going to retaliate to do it to you. The fact is that you don't trust her now but she trusted you. That's not fair. She's asking for your support, but she's not asking for you to be in her business, in your hands in it. Support is different than putting your hands in something that got nothing to do with you. Support her, and when she needs you, you be there. Not put her hands in it. She's trying to be independent. Why do you feel like this girl trying to leave you? What else have you done, Glenn? You out here acting like she finna go cheat and run the sunset. That man is married. He is a married man, Glenn. Like you are a married man. He's not finna step out on his wife. This is business. They trying to make some coin. They're not trying to sit here. They want to make coin, baby. She trying to get a talk show off the ground, get it pitched off so people can pick it up, and the coin is coining. What are you so upset for? Don't you get a check from OWN as well in your name for being a husband? Like, what the hell are you doing? This is embarrassing. I see why she looking surprised. And then he talking about this point, he asked her to be CC'd in emails because he the man of the household. If anything go wrong, his wife needs to look at him to correct it. And that's his wife, and he the husband. He don't understand what the problem is. And like the producer said, and the manager said, the manager intervened. He said, we good on that. And the executive producer was like, like I said, he said, no, we good on that. Like the manager was like, no, first was like, we good on that. That's our manager name. He was like, we're not going to do that here. Right. And Letitia was like, wait. And Glenn said, you the manager, right? He said, yeah. He said, well, go manage it. Go manage some ish. Go manage. How you gonna sit here, Glenn? What the hell? First of all, you weren't supposed to be there. So Letitia like, wait, hold on. Everybody chill out. Everybody chill out. And so the manager talking about, well, what emails you want then? And then he say, who is you talking to? Who is you talking to? Child, it became a disaster, child. He say, what emails you gonna be on, bro? He talking about you need to go do something, take an inch, bro. And you know, Fish first say you not finna do that. And then Glenn called him a BA and say, sit your BA down somewhere. So I'm like, what is going on? He say, I'm doing what I'm doing. That's what I do. He say, go sit down. That's what I do. They going back and forth, y'all. So Letitia is putting her hands on his mouth because he's making it bad for her in business. She said, be quiet. She said, this is my team. She said, you got y'all. She said her confession. She said, y'all got me messed up right now. I cannot believe that my manager and my husband are going to fighting at my photo shoot. She said it turned into a disaster. And so Glenn talking about, man, he came up talking ish to me. And then, you know, Shantae say, gee, stop, man, stop. Like she had to calm him down. He say, he say, look at her. Do her husband want to see his wife hurt? And Letitia started crying. And Letitia does not look happy. And you know, Letitia said Glenn anxious right now. Totally wrecked the moment for her. And it was about her. And she said first, and you was just as wrong as Glenn. And that's her manager. And he represents her brand. And most importantly, he represents himself. So Glenn go and apologize. And he said that's not him. He didn't apologize. You know, he didn't come here for that. He said before we was rudely interrupted, he said anything going on with this, I need to be involved. He said if everything going on, he said I don't see that being a problem. And Glenn said he pissed off because he getting vibes that, you know, Letitia is blaming him. Glenn, you in first was wrong. Of course she gonna blame y'all for her tears. Ain't nobody asked y'all to show up like that. You came in there on 10. You don't need to be ceased. This is her business. I understand what a teacher coming up with where she's feel like with first as her team, but there's a reason why when you work with people like this in places that can help you, why they want to see your marriage. Because if they feel like your husband, and I said this with a certain rapper and her husband, if they feel like your husband is going to intervene into your business that you building off your back, that you have a part of, just like with Wendy, and we saw how that looked. When they work with people, they know you're a great person, and then they want to see your marriage. They want to see how it is. Because if your husband know you working and knowing you building something, and they feel like he could come intervene and try to take over, like he take over the household and there's no boundary, it's a problem. It's a problem. And that makes it bad for business. Sometimes your husband got to be your husband until it needs to be. And we saw this with Wendy, and this is just, we're talking, having a conversation, to where Wendy had her husband, Kevin Hand was in everything. And when she took Kevin Hand out, Kevin tried to sue her and take money from her. So if she even said if she never had Kevin hands in it, she would be fine. And I agree. So, you know, he's sitting here saying he want to be part of it. And Shantae say, look, we in somebody's establishment. We need to take this outside. And Glenn said he didn't start nothing and he defended himself. He said that she should be happy that it didn't go further than what it did. And it should be tears of joy. And so everybody go to their car. You know, Glenn go ask first, you need picture, man. You stare and do this. It's best that you take a picture of me while you sitting here staring at me. And you know, child, I don't know why Glenn put himself in this. So they about to fight again. And then the executive, he talking about who is you? And the EP is like, listen, man, everybody just go to their car. You know, Glenn said he always feel like he misunderstood. He got his wife's interest at heart. Yes, they'll just let them go. Exactly. Because it's certain things that they have to agree upon. And that's just how it is. But Glenn is doing too much. Glenn trying to prove himself. And the fact is with Glenn, calm down. And he saying, you know, he don't know everywhere he go, every move he make is the wrong move. And you know, everybody, you know, she in the days, everybody asks her, is she okay? Can she drive? And she say, yes. She said the day has drained her. She said what could never happen again. And her husband interfering with her business and her team getting into it with her husband. She said this, it can't be a disrespect no more to the brand. And she's saying today boundaries are set. So meaning Letitia is going to take her location off from Glenn. When she go do her business, she's not sharing the location. And I feel like that is fair. If I was her, I would get me like another phone, and he won't even know about it. And that phone is when I leave, and my other phone will be turned off. That way, he can't have the location. Okay, the fair is fair because he really doing a little team too much. Ain't no way that man should be coming up there because he's sharing the location and get into it with your manager about to squabble in the parking lot because he feel defeated. Ain't no way. That's your manager. He been there through everything, and I know he probably, this. No, So then we go to Selena. She go talk to Latrice. They meet up, and they're at Cheaped Out, and they get exclusive. They're making exclusive jewelry. She's making some jewelry and everything, and she invited Latrice to come and check out her new collection while she's adding to her collection and making some some products. And she says she don't have nobody. And Latrice asks her, do she do everything herself because she real picky? And Latrice says she'll have a whole factory line, everybody in there making earrings. She say, oh girl, she say, so what's been going on? And so Selena says she can't stop thinking about Carrie therapy. And Latrice asked her, what do you think about the therapist saying that her and Letitia, have to have a conversation? And her husband, yes, he treat her like it's a property. I don't like that. And Latrice say her husband, is saying, hey, that they need to have a conversation. No other bells, just them two, and I agree. And so they can have a decent conversation. And Selena say, talk like Southern Bells, and try to work it out. And Letitia says she hesitated to speak to Letitia. It's a hard call, but right now she's so unsure. It's not completely off the radar. And so Selena said, listen to your husband. She wants you to talk to Letitia one-on-one. Try that. And she said, anyway, I'm done talking about all that drama. She said, have you talked to Tamara? And Latrice said she did, and her dad is doing better. Tamara's dad had a stroke, and they say they think he had a stroke. They don't quite know, but she's been at the hospital. She hasn't been eating anything, and she got to eat, and she gonna make herself sick, which I agree. If she don't eat, she say Selena say she been there. She had a stroke. She say it's no joke. She say she couldn't walk, she couldn't talk, she couldn't speak. She had to learn how to do everything all over again. I remember that. And she was in a wheelchair. And Selena say hearing about Tamara's dad, it brings up so many history and trauma, all the things she went through, because she thought she was never going to walk again. She thought she was never going to talk again. She was just feeling like she wasn't going to be there to see her grandchildren, and it hit her deep. And Selena say it's no joke. She say she was so afraid because she don't know if she could be able to do anything and be mobile again. And there was some thoughts in her head and stumbling over her words and stuff like that. And she say it's part of the stroke, and she say it was awful, and she say it took a while. It was a journey, and she was determined, and she said her girls weren't gonna let her give up. And and Latrice say especially Sanjay, and she say, yeah, she tough as nails. You gonna do this and that. And Selena say they've been there for her. They've been the shoulder that she can lean on, and she appreciate it. And she says she's happy to be here. And then Latrice said that she remember having a seizure after the car accident. And then Selena said extreme stress. She said, yeah, extreme stress triggers it, and she don't sleep. So Selena also have seizures. She wasn't sleeping. If she stressed into the max, it would trigger for her to have a seizure. And Latrice asked, how was it like when did her fiance get scared? And Selena said she had to teach him, that she don't sleep like that. So if it looked like she slumped over or anything, go get a cup, get a straw, put it in her mouth, so she could suck some juice or something. And Selena say when it comes to her and her health issues, it's a lot. And she say Mike has been there by her side. He's been trying to support her, but she has to teach him things. And it was a lot to teach him. It took a couple of times, and now he got it by now. She say the seizures, they scare her. And Latrice say people don't understand, and she had a situation in his journey, and she say listen to Selena and all that she endured just makes her think like life is too short. And she started crying, y'all, and she say it makes her want to bring the collective together to get back to the sisterhood that once was there, and she will have a conversation with Letitia. Wish her luck. So she say on that note, I got to get back to work. So then she gave her a hug. They say they felt better talking to each other, and Latrice left, and she had to go back to work. So we go into Carrie, and Carrie talks to her business partner Brittany. So she come in, she give her a hug. And Carrie says she's sitting down with Brittany to finally sit down about and talk about what next steps they're going to take with their restaurant in Mobile. She says she got to she say ripping the band-aid off, y'all. She say, what Destiny Child say? The writers is on the wall. Like she said, so Brittany asked was she good? She say she not good. She been better. And she say just walking in the door, she felt a weight off her shoulders, and then she walked in light, and then it's like just came back heavy. And then she say that she's so torn because of the Mobile location. And she say financially it's a lot. She say she's taking money that she received in her career as influencer, and she's literally using that to keep Broken Spoon open, and the money she could use for herself and she sells, then she got to take from Peter to pay Paul. Like what she make to pay for Broken Spoons. And she say, even if she's stealing from her other Peter, which is her, and Brittany say, well, where do you want to start, the bad or the ugly? And Carrie basically, she sighs after she asks her that, y'all. Like you get the look on her face, she like, oh God. She say whichever one. And Brittany say it's not gonna make it until somebody can come in that don't need a manager and to get that payroll. And she say between you and I, we can't do that. Brittany say no. We have too much going on everywhere else to put the time and money into it that they need for the store. And Brittany say the best thing for them to do in this store and for their staff is to sell it and let it go. As Carrie started crying, y'all, it broke my heart. Y'all know Carrie loved Broken Spoons. That is her baby. And, she just got teary-eyed because now they're talking about, selling it and letting it go to somebody else. So, it's breaking her heart. That's her baby. And she say the whole thing is just, they have so many memories and all the work they put into the store. And she don't want to let down all the people that's been rooting for it. And she said that's the part that hurts a lot. And, Brittany is upset, and she looking around, she gets upset. And Carrie she look around the building, she feel a great loss because the realization that she won't have much longer. And Brittany say the goal right now is to get it on the market. If it don't sell, they close it. And Carrie's just like, okay, I mean, that's just what we have to do. And she says she's not the let go type of person. That's going to be hard for her to let it go. And Brittany said they can't walk away with nothing. If they get something, it's something, but they got to at least try to sell it first. And I agree. They're going to work putting it on the market. And Carrie said, how are we going to make it through it? And Brittany said, we're going to make it through it. So then we go to Latrice and Letitia sit down. So Latrice and Letitia sit down, and they're having a lunch. They have water. Thank you, Jesus. Don't nobody got alcohol. Don't nobody got wine. This is perfect. This is absolutely wonderful because we don't need none of y'all to drink. So then they sit down, and Letitia says she's not faulting her for what happened at the pool party, but it did trigger a lot of things in her. and she started crying. And Latrice said she can get how that set her back when they're working towards everything. And she understand, and for that she apologized. And Latricia said thank you. She said that wasn't her intent, and she said that she or her. She said, Latrice say, you say I apologize. You just took me. She say, write it down in a book that you apologize. So Latrice finally apologized. And Latrice say she's not above apologizing. They say they're not. And Letitia say, we ain't going to go backwards. We're going to go forward. They going to straddle forward. They agree. And Latrice say she don't know. She don't know what that looked like for them to move forward. And Letitia say she want to know what it is that they need to do, because they have to bring it right around. And Latrice say, let's start with this. She said, so you could tell me one thing that you want me to completely forget about and not bring back up, and we're going to throw it to the side, and we're not going to harbor any feelings or anything about it. And Letitia said, okay. And they said vice versa. And then Letitia said one thing to say for her, she has not contacted any of her poor employees. She did not do that. Okay. Letitia said, I did not do that. She said she don't know where that came from. She said that is false. And she will please appreciate that if she don't say that. And Latrice said, well, let's see. She said, okay, well, we'll let that go. We'll leave that there in the past. And Latrice say for her, it'll be a whole Amanda situation. And Letitia looked at like, okay, about Amanda doing the DMs. Like I said before, if Latrice didn't know about it, that was Amanda. To me, my opinion, that was Amanda plan to get back at Letitia. Hey, really? Yeah, she's on this show. She's on this show. This her second season? This her second season. She's been doing great. But I feel like with Amanda, did it to get back at Letitia because of the situation that she felt like Letitia wasn't a good friend when Marie and Latrice was about to get into it. And I've felt like that. And it's crazy how 2 seasons in, Amanda, because now we in 3 seasons in, and them 2 seasons in, you decide to get your one-on-one with it. I'm confused. So she decided to say Glenn was in the DM. Now, remind you, Amanda was already added to the show. Amanda was the girl that had the girlfriend fiance, and broke up. She was I guess she bi, I don't know, because it sounds like she is. So, Letitia say it's done. She won't talk about it no more, right? They should have a contract that they're not going to talk about it. So they laugh and they back to where they have. Oh, really? Is her restaurant good? So Latrice say she hope that she good, that she glad that, that they great, that her and Letitia squashed their issue. And she's so glad the collective is back where it's at, but she's still going to be on alert because things can change. And, it could change at any moment with these girls. And so Latrice told her about the health care, and Letitia asked, and Latrice started crying about the blood clot that went from her knee to her grown her certain area into her lung. And, Letitia asked that they put her on blood thinner. And she said, girl, yeah. She said, well, thank you, Jesus. She ain't said, hey, won't you gone now? And so they back talking. And Letitia say, this is serious. Like, she could have lost her life. She say it makes it even more important to get the collective back together. And, Letitia say it's so much going on with her and going on with, Letitia. And Letitia showed that about her show that she has, that she's got it in work. And, Latrice is happy for her. She says she can't stop. And then she asked how did Glenn feel about it. She told her Glenn feels some type of way and she trying to leave him. And Latrice looking like, really? Everybody say the same thing. Like, really, Glenn? Really? Really? We all know, child. I say the same thing. Really? I just said, really? He doing too much. So, she say she's trying to be independent. She did her press photo shoot. She did everything for the show. Glenn showed up, and Glenn and her team and first got into it, and Latrice was shocked, like, what? And she said he want to be all on that. Glenn said he want to be on the emails and the phone calls, and then first say he not gonna be on the emails and the phone calls. And Latrice said that she feel like first was out of line. And she said you could never tell a man about his wife or get in a relationship. She said, especially if they're married. She said your opinions is irrelevant. She said, so however, Glenn spazzed out. And she don't condone violence or whatever, but he was valid to do what he had to do. And Latrice said it's absolutely crazy because when it comes to your husband, nobody should have that level of comfort. And she said she's stepping behind her husband. First would be gone. He'll be the first person out the door. And, Latrice said collective background to this mission and show again, women can work together. They have their differences and they can work together at the end of the day, be able to talk. And, and Latrice said she guesses the better health for the collective, and Letitia agreed. And they both said that they're working on it and they're working towards making it better. And then they said, Letitia said it's bigger than them, and they can't fumble it because of the purpose and over ego, but they need to figure out how they're going to fix it and talk through it. And Latrice said, came up and they came with a plan saying that they all meet together and they'll try to put something together to get all the ladies together. They want to host something together on the Bells. And Letitia says she's excited for the possibility of getting the Bells back together on track and getting the hosted for her by her and Latrice. It could be a fresh start for everyone. And Letitia say it needs to be hard conversations, with other people. It's just more than them in the collective. And Latrice said, yeah, she agreed, and she was like, ugh. But they say it's good that they had a conversation. They still got a long way to go, but they get in there, and I'm happy. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna be honest. Latrice, Marie, all the ladies together are great, but it's something about this dynamic with Selena, Latrice, because Selena, she with everybody, but when it comes to Latrice, Marie, and Letitia, it's just something about it. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget. It's like it's just something. Like all the ladies bring something. Even Carrie, and Carrie is funny. She is hilarious. I love it. She outspoken. I love all these ladies together. I don't want nothing to change with these ladies. I really don't. I love Tam. I noticed Tamara been in and out. Usually Tamara is outspoken. She's loud. She's vibrant. And Tamara kind of just calmed down a little. She's a mom now. She like, I'm relaxed a little. So yeah, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. So they decided to have something together, and they gonna have a collective reset, and they agreed on that. So then we get to the reset. So now we get a preview of the reset. Well, hey, Sassy Dread. So Glenn and Letitia get into it on the preview for next week. Glenn and Cliff have a conversation, and then we go to the reset, and they tell Carrie tells Selena that she heard something about Mike having a baby. Now, I don't know, but we gonna wait and see, because next Monday, we got to have our popcorn, okay? So now we get into, wait a minute, who is this? Oh, this punk. I didn't even know that show came back. Okay. Mama June and Family. So let's get into Love and Marriage Huntsville, okay? Child. Girl, Glenn just doing too much. I understand he in love, honey. I understand he trying to fix his marriage. But at the same time, he ain't have to go after that bed like that. He didn't have to do that. Let's get into Love and Marriage, honey. Let me sip my milkshake. Child, this one is a mess. I remember I told y'all that Letitia, there's another Letitia on here, okay? But Tisha and Kimmy was kind of like a duo now that Mel is gone. And I've been feeling that with this show. And like I said, I love all the cast. They bring something. But I've been feeling that a little bit. And it's kind of like, okay, so let's get into it. So I just finished watching. Girl, listen. Baby, this is juicy. I feel like they are a duo. I've been feeling like that for a while. This season, it's like them two against the world. Like, what is going on? So we get to the continuation of Destiny and, Destiny, Kimmy, and Tisha. So Destiny says she feel like she being gaslit right now. So, Letitia say, you feel like you being gaslit. What else, girl? She say you want to be the victim next, you want to be a victim too. And then she say for Destiny to give attitude about how she feel and asking, giving example. She say, I don't remember exactly what you said, but I do remember how what you said it made me feel. She say it hurt her feelings. So Kimmy say, let me ask you, do you think it was I'm sorry, y'all, for inappropriate for Nell to say some of the things that she said in regard to, her to say she needed word about her husband and their situation. And Destiny was looking like, she said, I never said she wasn't wrong for what she said. She said, did I say that? And Kimmy said, well, did you tell her that it wasn't right? And Destiny said, yeah, I did tell her it wasn't right. And she said, okay. Kimmy said, okay, well, cool then, whatever, next, So Destiny looking, and Kimmy say, owning somebody an apology is something that this group have a problem with, it's a refusal. Like, she think it need to be an ownership in regards to friendship. And so Kimmy say, so now it's over, we can move forward, we can move on. And Destiny say, are you sure? And Tisha say, she over it. She say, are you sure? She's, Tisha say, I think I know, what box to put everybody in. And so she say she good. And so Destiny was like, what's the label of my box? And Tisha say, don't trust that hoe. Oh, and Destiny said, wow. And she started laughing. She said, every joke got some proof to it. And Kimmy just sitting here looking, and Tisha just looking. So they looking at each other. And Tisha say, she was told that a friend to everybody is a friend to nobody. And I was like, oh. And she said that, and she said, she was like, wow. I told y'all they a goddamn duo. I told y'all. And Destiny say that's funny that Walter say that because he's cordial and cool with everybody. That is true. And Tisha say she feel like they have a good relationship, but she also feel like she has a good relationship with people that don't like her. And she say, so I guess her thing is she a loyal person. And Destiny say, as am I. She say, I don't, and she don't want her to be hurt. Tisha say she don't want to be hurt. And she said the only way for her not to be hurt is protect herself. And Destiny said that you should, but have I shown you anything different? And Tisha sighed. Destiny looked. And Tisha started crying, y'all. She say she about to get Destiny and Tisha start crying, y'all. They start crying. They don't want to mess up their makeup. And Destiny got real emotional. And Destiny walked over to her and hugged her. It was just a misunderstanding to me. They say, all right, Cheryl. And she said, okay, baby Cheryl. She said, I'm only going to get right with my words, but with my actions. And, Kimmy say she don't get no hug. And Destiny say no, and she gave her a hug. I think it was just a misunderstanding, and I think Tisha got to let that go with Nell. Like, seriously. I understand she feel like her marriage has been targeted, but she really has to let that go. She does. And she said, for her to hear that Destiny apologized for her actions and her words, she said moving forward, she's going to see what her action give and make her judgment off of that. So Destiny said she tried not to be emotional before she came there for her. And so Destiny said that she said the last couple of months has really changed her life completely. She found 3 of her siblings that were adopted and moved away. And then she wanted to meet them. And Letitia asked where they're going to get together. She said she's going to Detroit. And she said, well, if you need a support system, we here. And she invited Kimmy and Letitia, to come to Detroit and just, do a road trip. And they can go meet her siblings with her for support. And Kimmy said after they shared a couple of tears, hugged it out, and took a couple of shots, they get their mind together and they gonna chop it up to conversations over. And they locked in and throw away the key, and they gonna hold Destiny hand and get to Detroit. So then we get into Latrice. She get told about the sit down. Yes, another Latricia, okay, Tree. That's what they call her, I think. And she sat down with Destiny and get told about the situation. And they talk about Taco Tuesday. And Destiny says she walked in immediately, the energy and the smoke about, what she said and things that happened and what Tisha felt about things that happened. And she, Destiny say what they say, and they both say they didn't remember. And she said how Kimmy say she remembered that she did say something, and she want to know, she don't remember what was said. And Destiny said she wanted, basically saying that, hey, we had a conversation about it, and Treese was sitting here and agreed that they need to say what was said. And then Treese said that she think that it came from, some tension that was brought to the table. And Destiny say it's nothing to be mad about it. Teresa was like, yeah, that's true. And Destiny said, why they talking about it again? And, they basically was talking about the conversation. And she was telling her what happened. And so Tree said, what now? Like, what happened? And Destiny said, say what? She said, what? And Tree said, what led to that? And Destiny say, a friend to everyone is a friend to no one. Excuse me. And Destiny said that she felt like it was kind of silly. And, the Scott gang up. And then you want to be like Nell talking about they gang up on you. And, she's saying her side of everything about how Kimmy was trying to support Tisha in the recollection with everybody. And Kimmy don't remember anything. She say it's kind of like a gang up. And Treese was like, she thought the whole alliance sister racing was over. And she thought if Tisha felt some things need to be resolved, that she getting it resolved, then she could understand that too. But she don't see Tisha and Kimmy ganging up on somebody. They both have their opinions. And Tisha's going to get loud and Kimmy going to however. And so they can. And she said she don't know. She can't see it. So Destiny said what she, intended on to tell Treese and tell them was she found, her 3 siblings that she has 6 other living siblings that she found the last 3 that were adopted. And she said that she's going to Detroit to go meet them all. And Treese say, excuse me. She said, why Detroit? She said, that's after all at the Mexican restaurant. They said they'll go and hold her hand. She told Treese. And she say she asked that they invite themselves, and she say, and she say with Maurice and Marceau, because they from Detroit, they from Pontiac. And she say she don't know if she said anything. And then Destiny say, maybe I said yeah. She say she don't know. So Tree said, well, how did y'all end on a good note? And Destiny say they did end on a good note. I'm kind of confused. Did y'all end on a good note, or was it you both just skeptical and saying y'all ended on a good note? Like, what are we doing? Because it seemed like this conversation with Treese is like, you kind of don't know if you invited them or not. I'm confused, Destiny. I'm confused. So what's going on? So Destiny say, the stitching on hand from Kimmy and Tisha and, Maurice and Marceau, they probably go ahead and go with them because they outside of Detroit. And she say, she'll see. And Treese was like breathing hard. And Destiny say, she asked about, Treese about her and Ken. And she asked if they fix it. And Treese said it's been a rough patch and realizing that 6 or 7 months on and off, it's like some real rough patches. And, Destiny say she adored Trish. And she say she talked to her one day. Her and Ken broken up. They haven't spoken. He don't live there. She talked to her 2-3 days later. Ken is back home. They back together. They happy. Everything going well. She say she can't keep up, so she decided that whatever she tell her on that day is what she gonna believe that she tell her. She say even if it's 24 hours later, if she tell me they got married tomorrow, I'm just gonna go through it and believe it, because it's like one day together, one day they're not. Listen, let me tell you something. TikTok been noticing it too. TikTok been noticing it too. TikTok been talking about a lot. They kind of like they still together and not, baby. They come from TikTok to Instagram, be like, nah, baby, he been ruffling feathers. Everybody noticing it. So I need them to figure out what it is, because we noticing the back and forth a lot. Next we get pictures, they going out to a concert. Next we don't get pictures. They don't like each other. I don't know. Okay. So then, she say they're working through it. There's some rough patches. They're working through it. And, she's still in therapy and everything. And Desi asked how she's been going in therapy. And she said it's been going. And, Tree say she listened more instead of responding. But she's still trying to express herself in a way that it don't come off as she's been an a-hole. And she said she introduced an apology, and Destiny was shocked. And, Destiny said she proud of her, because Tree said it took her a lot. It took a whole day, but she still did it. And Destiny just sitting here laughing. So Tree says she's excited because her and Ken have an up-and-coming appointment with Dr. Francis. She had her one-on-one, and she planned to have more, and she's looking forward, to Francis telling them what they need to fix and what's happening between them. And Trish said, they still trying to get back where they were. And Desi say you can't get back to where you are. That's a whole nother chapter that's closed, because now that's an ex-husband. Well, husband, because they ain't divorced yet. Dang. And they still ain't divorced. What the hell going on, Trish? So then we go to Letitia and Marceau house. First we had Maurice and Kimmy, and Maurice and Kimmy are having a conversation about what happened. She fixing him some fruit, and she say, she said that, she knew it was a little issue between the two. And so, she said that they let both of them, she had both of them come to Taco Tuesday, and she said she should have never done it. And Maurice said, was it bad? She said, well, it got a little snippy. And she say everything started out okay. But hold on, I noticed something. Shout out to Kimmy. Her hair has grown great. She got a head full of hair. Remember, she chopped all her hair off. And Kimmy got some nice hair. Her hair done grew out nice and natural. She chopped all her hair off with breast cancer. Her hair grew out lovely. I love it. So she said it got a little snippy. And she said everything started out okay. But when they got to the part, Tisha wanted to tell Destiny about how she felt in regards to their relationship, and she felt like Destiny was defensive soon as Tisha opened her mouth. It just go left fast. So then we see Tisha telling Lord Jesus, Letitia telling Marceau. Marceau is a character. I can't take him seriously. He is hilarious. When I tell you he's hilarious, he's freaking hilarious to me. He's hilarious. So then Letitia telling him, and she said that she felt like, Destiny got defensive because she felt like, she got defensive because she told her that she wasn't being a good friend to her. And Marceau said, you and Destiny got into it. And she said, minor. She said, I don't remember exactly what you said, but I remember how you made me feel as me considering you as a friend. And she was like, oh, here y'all go, ganging up on me, the Scots. Exactly the same thing that Nell said about how we trying to gang up on her. And then they showed a clip about how Nell said they were ganging up. Like, let's be for real, it kind of was a gang up because y'all both were coming. I don't think they realized it be a gang up. I'm going to tell y'all how it looked like a gang up, okay? I love Kimmy and Letitia. I love them down. But when y'all, okay, so pay attention. And this is why people feel this way, right? Letitia say something, Kimmy jump in and say something. Kimmy, calm down. Wait a minute. So when Letitia say something, Kimmy jump in and say something. Let Letitia say what she say, let it be and respond, and then Kimmy say, be like, well, okay, listen. But when y'all jump in like that, it does seem like an attack mode. I understand what Kimmy trying to do. Kimmy trying to change it up a little bit, but it does seem like that. It does seem like that. It kind of do. Because once Letitia say something, and then Kimmy, I'm like, wait a minute, slow down. Slow down. We understand, but calm down. Calm down. So, I mean, that's just how we see it. And then Letitia, she say, so is this like a pattern? Like, what's going on? Like, nobody trying to gang up on nobody. So Kimmy was saying how Desi say she don't care. She know who she is. She know she could deal with. You understand what? Like, she's going through the references about how bad it went. And Maurice say it got through that. And Kimmy say, yeah, here's the thing. Of this particular situation, it's a lot riding on the stuff that Nell has said. And she say Tisha has these moments of loyalty, and she say she never heard her say, "Don't be friends with that person." And she say she don't think that's something that she would want to say as an adult, but she do think that's something that she feels from time to time. And Kimmy say in her adult world, she don't think that adults tell each other who they talk to. And she say, however, she don't think there's a right or wrong about how you feel and how your friends make you feel. And so she say, so when it comes to the particular friendship, she say she don't have an issue with Tisha behind that. And Tisha went and told Marceau about her and Destiny had an attitude, and they gotta fix. She say she gotta figure out what box, and she say what box I'm in. And so they had the conversation, and she told her the whole box, and then she said she was just playing really. And then they just Marceau said, "Was you playing now?" And Letitia said she don't know, she don't like feeling that way. And then he say, "Man, T, like," he say, "I'm gonna tell you something." He say, "I'm 43." He say, he at the stage of life, it is what it is. Like, he's not finna do all of that. He say people who they are. He say he told the same thing. He told Maurice the same thing about Martell. He say in reality is they got some people that are like that. And Letitia say every relationship you got to go through something. It's no perfect relationship. And he agreed. He said the marriage and the friendship, they're going to go through something. And Marceau was like, he don't want to put the whole friendship in a marriage, but he understands. And she say it's a relationship. He say it's not a marriage. And she say, you my friend, right? He say, yeah. He say, but with you and your friend disagree, you don't have to split assets. And Kimmy say, they hugged it out, and Destiny started telling about a lot of her family that she have in Detroit, and she was like really emotional and moved that she found most of her brothers and sisters, and she wanted to try to get them together with her mom. And she said she felt like, she was telling Kim and them for a reason. And it was like, do you want us to be there to hold your hand through it? And they could be the support system. And Marceau looking at her like, okay, like, and Marceau say, you want to go out of town with the person that whom you put in a box. Don't trust that whole box. And Letitia looking like, he said, do I understand that? She said, when you put it like that, I didn't think about it like that. He say, like, she said, like, friends go through things. He said, if I had a friend that I put in a box, don't trust them. She said, but I was just playing. He said, it don't seem like the person I would invite to go to Detroit. He said, so do you think I need to tell her I'm not going to hold your hand through the process? He said, did you agree to it? And he say, I don't know. He said, maybe. I agree with him too. And she say, well, you gonna come with me? He say, I don't know. He say, you ever gonna talk to your real mother? She say, I know who my real mother is. What you talking about? I'm sick of myself. Kimmy and Maurice say they're gonna be supportive and ain't nobody bringing up old stuff. And they say it's a thing of the past. And they are coming. She said that they were coming to Detroit, and they wanted to make sure it was clear that she coming. Yeah, it was funny because he didn't have to say that, but I agree with Marceau, because if you put the girl in a don't trust that hoe and then you decide to go on a trip, you could just stay home in Huntsville and just miss out on the trip. I mean, hey, So, and he was funny. Talking about, you sure that's your real mama? I'm done with him. Him and Wanda in this love-hate relationship, child. I cannot. So, they all decide to go on a trip. So Maurice go talk to Micah, and Michael going to take the bar. And then he invited Marcel over because he got some questions with some feedback. Micah is doing the bar exam. And, he told Michael tells them both he was going to wait till February of next year. But he's saying he's just going to go ahead and take it next month because it's next month. And Marcel say it sounded amazing. He loved all the enthusiasm. So he said, he cut to the chase. Marcel kills me. And he asked Maurice, he said, that's all nice. But Maurice, why did you bring me here? Like, what's the point? I know you didn't just bring me here to talk about this bar exam. So what's going on? What's the deal? What's the deal? And then Maurice said he wanted to talk about the situation about Kimmy, about construction of all things, and how it went to their marriage, and they had some hard things to talk about their marriage. When it kind of messed up, they had a question where he talking about he might leave her in the marriage. And she said he was busy building and everything. Yeah, I like the royal blue dresses too. So, she said she'd love to see him be a construction man, build things, and he simply just don't want to do it no more. And she trying to get turned on by herself. She said, ain't that something? I kind of agree with her because when she was going through her healing, he was asking for some cootie cat. She was laying there letting him have it after she just got from the doctor's office and stuff. I don't know now. He gotta give her something now. He gotta give her something now. So then, he said, telling everything that happened with Marceau, and Marceau and Micah them are laughing. He talking about, okay, girl, I can dress up, like I can do whatever. He say, but he's not going to be back and doing all that stuff. And he said a lot of that stuff was out of necessity. He said he would be hiring crews now to do that if he had the means at the moment. And Marceau say, why you hate doing it so much? And Maurice say he don't hate doing it. And in the day, if I'm the one that's actually, he say it does it shouldn't matter. But Marceau say it does. He say if I got the same thing done, exactly. Micah even said it. He say women like to see you create. And Marceau say, can I give you an advice, some insight? He say women like a guy that can do things like lead, and I can do as well. He say it's nothing like being able to have a suit on, being able to roll your sleeves up, and take care of some stuff and take care of some projects around the house, but at the same time, still not get the suit messed up. And Marceau, he say, Marceau, listen, she seen me do both, and the things at this point I could get that done. And he's saying, Marceau say that's not attractive. And Michael say either she wants you to quit being an attorney or what it is. And he said, yeah. Maurice said, yeah, he think that would make her happy if she's not an attorney. He said he don't know why. And Marceau said, I could tell you why. So they're going back and forth about it. So Maurice said he think it's more attractive to her, but Michael say that's not what she's hearing. She said what she's saying is we were spending more time together. Marceau trying to help Micah. He said Marceau say he wanted that she wants to see Maurice bring a 4 by 8 inch dry sheet wall and pull it up. And Maurice said that's exactly what she wanted to see me do. And she say, and Micah say, I'm trying to tell y'all she don't want that. And Marceau say she want to see him sweaty, little dirty, doing some work. Hammer, drill, hold this, let me put this in. She want to see him do that. And Marceau say, what'll be dope? He say he'll stage the whole thing. He say you have a suit on. He say he'll have his roll his sleeves up a little bit, grab 2x4s, bring them to the crib, and be up on the ladder. Baby, I can do both. And it's just somebody that can do both. And Michael said he went to a level of detail of that. He said, you know how she is, Reese. You know, you talk to her every day. You know her best. And Maurice said, but guys, what do she want more of? He said, I think she wants both. He said he's going to try both. And what he's going to do is he's going to record the conversation. Oh, he finna mess up. But he going to play. He said he going to record the conversation. At the end of the day, he's going to play it back for them. This is a mess. And they're going to decide who is right. Michael say the conversation won't do it. He say, let's see if you can get a BJ at the end. Child, they a mess. So Maurice say he's not really sure how women think, especially his wife. And, you know, asking the guys, he's not going to get there. And Marcel say, speaking of women, he said he's been talking to Tisha about going to Detroit. And for some reason, she want to go there and support Destiny. And Maurice said, well, hold on. Well, what's up with them two? And that's the question everybody got. Excuse me, y'all. What's up with them two? And he say, you know, he say who like Tisha and Destiny. Kimmy says kind of like, you know, and Marcel say Destiny is a friend to everybody and choosing different sides. And Tisha like, I can't trust her. And she like, but Destiny's going to Detroit. I keep hearing that too. I think because of the conversation they had mid-season, the last season, the break before they came to this one, I'm not sure. But we have to wait and see. We got to wait and see. I hope not. But we got to see. We got to see because I think there's something going on too. And so Maurice would say, because Kimmy said they got to a good place where everything was good. And Marcel say they get to a good place at the end of everything and they're back to the middle of it. And then he say, when you say I can't trust you, that's big. And Marcel say, if it's one thing that his brothers could take away from the conversation is this: you will never understand women. You will never understand them. True. And Maurice say he going. He say he going to support. He say he going. And he asked Marcel, is he not going? He say, I was hoping to see where you was at. He say, I didn't make up my mind because I wanted to see where you was at. You know, so he was like, listen, I was waiting on to see what you going to say to see if I'm going to go. He say, now that you say you made a decision, you got to go, then I guess I'm going to go ahead and go just a little bit. So Marcel though went ahead and sat there and said, and I guess I go. Hold on, y'all. So then we get to Ken and Trish, and they conversation with the therapist. Yeah, I hope not too, Sassy Dread. I hope not, because it would look like it was Lee in there. I hope Kimmy and Mark. I hope not. So we hear Ken saying the anger that she lashed out at home come from the situation from her ex-husband. And then Trish said he brought up arguments and all kind of things. And Ken said he ain't talked to her for real in 3 months. And he said in therapy, him and Trish, they have a couple of problems that she has. You know, it's a lot of hurt that she's anger. I've been said that anger that she need to let go from her ex-husband. I've been said that because Trish jumped into this relationship and didn't get a divorce. And even Destiny told her it's going to have a lot of resentment and it's going to play out in this relationship. She got mad at Destiny. Everybody said it. And I knew it was coming. I knew it. So, you know, Ken said he feel like some people, they enjoy the attention that they get from the drama. And he said he tell all the time she don't heal. She just going to keep going relationship to relationship. What you trying to say, Ken? He say ultimate and that she's the issue. And Ken say you not talking about him don't mean that the anger that you hold for him isn't valid. And she said you don't have to talk about him, but you still angry. She say she don't think about him. She say she don't think about him. And he said she don't understand because I'm telling her, even if she's sitting here saying, I don't think about him, I don't care about him, I don't think, You still angry about what he did. That's what he's saying. And it's true. It's true. And it's putting a problem in their relationship because she's angry at Ken, not at him. You feel what I'm saying? You're not angry at your ex-husband. You angry at Ken. For what? You know, and I feel like she moved on with Ken a little too fast for me. And Ken should, that's why they were telling him to hold off. Man, listen, I'm ready for this party about these DMs. That's what I'm ready for. So, you know, Ken say she not understanding what he trying to say. And Trish say, I don't know what she say, I did not. And she say, she tends to put herself in different boxes. And, you know, in Dr. Francis boxes, you know, Dr. Francis session, she put herself in, you know, a box. So she admitted to of anger, rage, and everything, right? And she said she feel like because she stayed quiet and don't voice much, she tends to come off as the bad person. And she say when she think they both have issues. So Dr. Francis asked was she fine, and she say yes. He say, is everything fine with you? She say yeah. And you fine with Ken? I think she say yeah. She say you just told me a little while ago that it wasn't that hot. She said that relationship just not, but he's fine. And he asked Kenny, he say, do you know what it is about you that makes her that you're fine? She don't like the way you act. And he said she gotta let me know in her relationship they would ask questions, there were accusations. So even when he asked questions, he's asking a simple question. In her mind, it's an accusation. And Dr. Francis asks, is that true? She say no and start laughing. It's true. Thing about Treese, she deflect when she don't want to talk about it. It's true. So she started laughing, talking some, no, it's not true. Hey, she say it's a lot going on, accusations, you know, with her and Ken. He said, well, what did you accuse me of? And she said, when I be at the gym, working out, still on the phone, weights falling. That sound like a Belle's clip. You in somebody's house? He say, he said, excuse my language. And Trish was like, she say, you said you, he called her out. He say, wait a minute, you telling me that I told you on the phone, you at the gym, he heard something fall, and it sounded like you at somebody's house? And she said, yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So he like, what? Child, this a mess. He said, this a real scenario. This a real deal scenario. He said he ain't never that insecure. And she said he has been insecure. He said it don't make sense. And then Trish, no, she ain't divorced that man. She ain't divorced that man, sis. Because Destiny asked her about it, she didn't. But she keep putting Ken out the house. She keep putting Ken out the house. Last year, Ken was on live talking about Trish. He said that he was like, he don't know. Girl, yeah. Girl, it's a mess over there. She making him at fault for the divorce and the husband. Mm-hmm. And Trish said that she said she thought it was crazy that he would, you know, you only been in one relationship and you don't know how people are out here. And she said, yeah, you're right, because that's crazy. And she said he'll pull the covers back and he'll say somebody been in the bed and ask who was in the bed. And you must have another person in the bed. She said still to this day, he still said that. Ken say she's a compulsive liar. I'm finna turn. He been saying that on TikTok. He say Trish lied so much. He say he was tired. They asked, was he single? When the times, okay, so let me explain it. Remember when she told Destiny that Destiny said, when I said that Destiny said some days he there 2 or 3 days later, when he go on live, he'll say he's single in the comments. But then when they get back together, he not single. I don't think they're going to make it to the altar. I don't think their relationship is going to last. It's something, I haven't seen them together. I don't think it has. Exactly. That's what it seemed like to everybody, because he could sign them papers. I don't think it's going. She talking about he's stalling. Something ain't right with this divorce situation. So he called her a compulsive liar. And He says she lies about a lot of stuff. And Trish is sitting here looking like her mouth open, like, what? Did he just call me a liar? Trish is the one standing between Marceau and Martell in the dark blue with the two-piece and a blazer. That's Trish. Ken is the one in the dark blue with the pants on between Destiny and Letitia. But yeah, I agree. She's sitting here. That's where we left off at. She's sitting there with her mouth open, like, did he just call me a liar? Yeah, girl, he called you a compulsive liar. So the next we go through, they finish with that. And how they get into an argument. Then we get to Kimmy and them in Detroit, and then Destiny is about to have an anxiety and she crying. So, child, this is a mess. Then we're going to talk about Detroit situation. It's a pretty good season. I'm waiting for them text messages, but we're going to wait on it. Child, let's get to this crap show here, honey. Met Gala was a mess. In my opinion, for Toya to want people, you're welcome, Melody. For Toya to want people to pay for a ticket and she didn't want to pay, it was free entry and she brought champagne, or she didn't purchase anything to donate, but she forced people to donate. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. Now I love Toya, but Toya and Eugene this year with this Met Gala mess is a hot mess, baby. Now listen, before we get into this recap, the reunion is next Sunday. I'm excited. They just filmed the reunion last week or this week. No, last week. So the reunion will be, I believe, coming soon because the Met Gala is the last one. I think they filmed it already. Hold on. Um, but yeah, so child, this is interesting because I'm like, girl, how you gonna make somebody pay something you didn't want to pay the last two Met Galas? I brought bottles of champagne, and he talking about we brought a whole bunch of bottles of champagne, Eugene, like I say, Eugene got the right to stand up for his wife. But y'all was dead wrong. But yeah, the reunion is coming up, y'all. I'm excited because we get into Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie relationship. We get into what everybody said. Honey, I am excited. I am so excited. I am ecstatic. I can't wait. Now let's get into this. So Dr. Jackie meet up with Dr. Simone for their usual lunch at the park. And she brought them some food, some healthy food. They got some drinks. They got some smoothies for lunch. And so Dr. Jackie says, people don't understand what it is to go away from on a trip and have to come back and work so hard. It's like a punishment to go and then punishment to come back. She said, but enough about work. She said that Toya and Eugene Dr. Simone said Toya and Eugene did a great job. She said now the couples night, it was a little different than any other, any of our couples trip. She said usually we don't separate out during a couple activity. And, Dr. Simone saying she trying to pry from Cecil what happened. She said, well, your husband gave King the business. Said that Dr. Jackie husband gave King the business. Dr. Jackie said, well, and told him that your house is not in order. Maybe that is why you haven't been able to have a baby. And Dr. Jackie said she didn't hear anything about anything till they was on their way back to the airport. And she heard Curtis and Steve talking about Curtis said that you think I offended King. And that's what she said. What? She said, I'm like, baby, I'm always stand by you, but I have to tell you when you're wrong. And she said she need him to understand that, men don't think that their house is out of order and they don't get pregnant. And, they had a conversation about him getting upset about adoption. and donor eggs. And she say in private, she made her husband aware that are comments that are about women's health that men should be careful. And she said once she was able to explain, he was like, oh, and she said, don't add anything that's not positive to this, even if you feel that way. Shh. And she say, Dr. Simone say, have y'all talked about what this conversation would be the next time you have to see Quad? And Jackie say, absolutely. And Simone was like at the Met Gala. And she said, Dr. Jackie said she tests Quad and she understand it was a conversation that they had. And, she apologized for that. Like, she immediately texted her and let her know that she understand there was a conversation that happened that she personally wants to apologize for. When she apologized and she would like to meet her, again. So Dr. Simone said, how you think Quiet gonna do? Because she is usually not very forgiving. And Dr. Jackie say, oh God, girl, do we need to have a prayer service? Because that's what, and Dr. Simone said, yes, we do. She said that's not the only, Dr. Jackie said that ain't the only mess. So she said she got out of surgery from doing the surgery. And there are 100 and something text messages, and that they got to protect, she said they got to protect the integrity of the Met Gala. She said she told Toya it was going to go left because they were the founders. And basically, that's what she put, that Toya and Dr. Jackie was the founders. And she said she needed to include all the girls. And she said it should have been all the ladies, because during the text thread, Dr. Simone said she talked about correcting that, and she had the picture of the two of them that she took down. But then again, she refused to add Brandy, Mimi, and Angel. And she still want them to donate, but to the scholarship fund. And Dr. Simone says she's going to have to know how to get people on the team. So Dr. Jackie said they decide they're giving money to medical students who's going to medical schools and can't afford all of the debt. And she said the scholarship makes a difference of someone chasing that dream. So let's do it. That's what the Met Gala is this year. Last year was for the ladies to donate to the kids going to med school so they could get their education, they can finish, and they can become doctors, which is a very great thing. Because like I told y'all before, last year there was a slew of there are plenty of Black doctors coming in, y'all. Plenty of young, fresh Black doctors, OBGYNs. Yes, baby. All of them got accepted last year, honey. Congratulations. So this would be great to have the kids to see more Black doctors and dentists and all of them in the medical field and RNs. And then for Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie, Dr. Mimi, Dr. Brandy, Dr. Heavenly, Quad, Dr. Contessa, Angel, all of these ladies to help to get these girls into, all the Black people, young ones that want to finish school and be doctors and surgeons and nurses. And I think that's a great idea. They're on the show and on the platform. Why not? I think that's perfect. So Dr. Simone says Toya got to figure out how to be inclusive. There should be no reason that she couldn't have gotten Mimi and Steve their full financial support. They gave $5,000 last year. Okay. Steve and Mimi gave $5,000 last year. They gave out 5,000. And Dr. Jackie is saying with this administrative time we need this more than ever. And, they have so many programs now. And Toya said, like she said, Toya came out with a great idea. And there's nothing you could do when Toya makes her mind up that she's going to do something. So I agree. They say they're going to pray on it, child, because this is a mess. They were like, Lord, please show up and show out, because Toya, honey, So then Toya, hold on, y'all. Give me 1 minute. Hold on. Let me get my nose together. I'm a little stuffy. Hold on. We go to Toya and Eugene house, okay? We go to a nice, big, customized house. Girl, we ain't sitting in the closet, but whatever. So Toya is telling her kids, telling them what they can do to get the rest of the stuff out the truck, because they got an office and they say they got a doctor's appointment and they need to be on time. So she told, so hey, so Toya tells Eugene stop picking his face, and Eugene was like, "You on bossy mode right now? What's going on?" She said, "But you picking your face." He said, "I know, but you." She say, "I have been planning a Met Gala and talking to ladies since 7 a.m." And he was like, "Well, what's going on?" So we go to Dr. Heavenly house. Toya and Dr. Heavenly tells Mimi that Toya being difficult, she's being an a-hole. And it's a lot going on in this chat. And she say it's going on with the dates and stuff. And Dr. Mimi say it is a lot going on there. And Dr. Mimi say, "You want me to tell you about the group chat?" The group chat. She say, "How long you got?" So it says, since the beginning, you were already trying to sabotage and set me up for failure. We have begged you for info and help. Your ego got in the way. I have tried multiple times. Baby, it's a slew of text messages. They done tried multiple times. Y'all ladies, y'all gotta know we on a mission. We have tried this and that. Child. Baby, when I say they had a slew of text messages, her ego got in the way. Oh my God, baby, oh my God, this is bad, y'all. I ain't never seen no shit like this. I'm sorry, excuse my French. I ain't never seen no mess like this with these ladies. So, baby, when they flew them text messages in, there's thousands of text messages. Thousands. Baby, they just saying the scene's more decisive than inclusive. And they saying it is text gate. Quar say it's text gate. Dr. Mimi saying keep going and going. Dr. Concessa say Toya won't tell us anything. Everly say they won't tell them anything. They changed the venue without saying anything. She's saying, "Give me money and I'm going to do it the way I want to and don't ask me no questions." Quan say, "We want to know where the money is going. Where is the money going?" She ain't answering where the money going. Baby, this a mess. Dr. Heavenly say she got 80 text messages to prove that she not telling them where the money going. Hey, Sexy Ray. Now everybody trying to figure out, girl, you changed the venue. You don't tell us where the money going. You're not telling us if we need to buy tickets. You're not like, girl, what are you doing? So Toya is treating this like this an exclusive birthday party like she like to throw. Y'all know Toya throw a party for everything to be extravagant, lavish. That's how she treating it. That's how she treating it. And it's like, ma'am, you can't treat it that way. This ain't a birthday party. This is a Met Gala. Everybody coins is involved. Everybody is donating to the charity fund of the schools. Like, come on. Toya is showing her tail, okay? So, Dr. Mimi say, they supposed to have board meetings and have conversations like they did last year. And they saying that's not going on. There's no budget. There's no communities. There's none of that stuff like they did last year. They ain't got no budget. They don't have nobody deciding who doing what. And Dr. Heavenly say she's not accusing her of anything, but it's the question of knowing, not for you not to get the money you asking for, you just want transparency. So Toya says she wanted to have that moment each time she met with disrespect. She been cursed at. She been shut down. And Dr. Eugene says she's actually tried in Jamaica when everybody sat down to tell, hey, this is what we doing and what she need. And he said that she keep getting cussed out. Toya, they cussing Toya out, disrespecting her. Everybody walking away. And, Toya say it's embarrassing. And Toya say she been clear from the beginning that it's a scholarship opportunity. Any money that they collected via ticket sales is going towards the scholarship. And, Toya say she's not looking just to redeem herself. She's actually trying to show them what she can do this time. To where they won't sit here and say she ain't doing nothing. Well, you donated champagne. Remember you said. No shade, girl. We donated $800 of champagne. I'm sorry. She said it. I didn't, damn it. That was hilarious. She had the glass. She say, what? Girl, we donated all this shit. I'm dead. Toya is the trip, but I see Toya being serious. She is. It is funny though. So Toya say being the fact that we try, we sitting here trying to do these scholarships and underprivileged, for the underprivileged in the medical community is a bonus in itself. She say you would think they'll be like, oh my God, good job, Toya. She say none of that. She say nobody ever said, hey Toya, can I consult with you? Or where am I going to do the space for the event? She say not one consult. She say Mimi literally said a text that she helped fund. She say, I say this, I'm gonna tell you what Mimi said in the text. They put it up here. I say this as someone with 10 years of experience in nonprofit leadership, a current founder of a 501c3 facility at Morehouse School of Medicine. Okay. She say she funded, 10 years of experience, and she say she never offered it. And Dr. Eugene said he don't care for not do anything. It's the opposite. So it says, Dr. Heaven said, you has taken us all to a new low, Toya. Toya, please get the people documentation. That's what Choir say. She say, Toya, please get the people documentation, sister. Because, girl, this ain't going nowhere. Just give the documentation, girl. And then Dr. Contessa say, we beg you for info and to help. And he's saying the progress for the Met Gala, if they're not going to do something, they need to shut up. And then Toya say, when she done, well, how can I help? And Dr. Heavenly says she got a problem with the leadership as well as Dr. Mimi. And it's a lack of respect. It's a lack of transparency. It's like a lack of communication, all the above. And they feel like that's all who Toya is. She don't communicate, and she's not transparent and don't do good business. So, they say they're going to go ahead and get dressed. They're going to keep moving and see her, when they see her for tonight. And then Dr. Eugene say, hopefully that people that not in support don't show up. And if they do, unless they brought a ticket, they should be able to come in. He's saying you can't control what they're gonna do. You can control only what you're gonna do. And Toya say she's been controlled, and she says she even pat herself on the back, thank God. And she, Eugene say she need a moment to get it out. And she say she might strangle somebody at a man got a child. He like, no, okay. But no. So then we go to Dr. Simone's house. They having dinner with the kids again. This is interesting. Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get over. I'm getting over it, but my allergies is getting better. But they got me laughing because this is a mess. Toya, Quad text. Quad is a hoot. I would love to see Quad text threads. Quad say, Toya, please just get these people to document. They got me. Why did she have to? Toya is the one at the top, at the first left corner. Toya, quiet, kill me. Toya, hey, Toya, the way she Toya put Pete, she put please, she emphasized it. I said, what? And you can hear it in her voice. Girl, just give out the documentation, girl. Hey, Mary, just give out the documentation. No, we don't want to hear that, girl. Just tell them if they need to know, girl. Give out the info, please. I am tired of this. Choir say, baby, I'm tired of hearing about this. Toya like, I'm doing it how I want to do it. Choir like, girl, please, we tired. I don't want to hear no more. So we go to Dr. Simone's house, and she talked to her son, Michael. Oh, Lord Jesus. So she said, she said, I'm not going left today. He was like, please don't go left. She said, I'm not going left today. He said, yeah, that's what we all say, because you always go left. That's what he told Dr. Simone. So you're welcome. So Cecil said the last dinner definitely didn't go expected, so they can't go anywhere without this dinner. So they all sat at the table. So Simone says she talked to her dad numerous times about some has been unpleasant about the last time they were at the table. And it was, Cecil said very unpleasant about their conversation. She said, but she owed her son an apology for saying that she's done with him and F him. She said, but the last time she felt like extremely disrespected by Michael. Yeah, Toya. And Dr. Simone, Michael said he apologized for cursing and his overall tone towards the situation. And Dr. Simone said yes, and he said let him finish. And and Cecil say Dr. Simone said you ain't say nothing at night, so pipe down, keep that same energy. And so Cecil said he was wrong, and he didn't step up for his mom, and when she was hurting, and he's not gonna, it's not gonna happen again. So, Dr. Simone said he dug a hole and put him in it, and he said he get it, and Cecil said they have to do a better job. That mom is at a place that is good, and Michael say, he pretty sure Miles feels the same way. He said, can we personally? He said him personally, he said he's not like he want to live under her forever. He want to have the live like, take his mom and his dad places they never seen. And, they see some things like turn. He got it. Sorry, y'all. And Miles agreed. They want to, they got to lock in. Michael said they got to lock in. That's all they ever wanted. And Michael said he want to do great. He want to show them that basically they did a great job raising them. That's how the kids feel. They did a great job. That's how he feel like, and like Caesar saying one thing about Michael gonna find him a way. He gonna find a way. He's saying find a way means he got to get a job. He's willing to do it because he's like his mom. He doesn't want to give up any moisturizer. His skin has to glow. And so Michael said he glad they hashed it out, and he gave his mama a hug. They gave each other. It's so cute. And she said that's all she want to see from Michael. And she want to see him finding a way. And she say she is seeing it, and that's a good thing that she's seeing. And Miles say he understand where he coming from because she been working so hard for so long. And he gave his mama a hug, and she said you just tired. She said I'm exhausted, and she said she gonna take a year off and live on her, live off her kids. Regardless what people say, they have a good relationship with her boys. I feel like Simone has her, not just her husband, but her boys when she need them. Yeah, I hope they mean it too. And I feel like they gonna come in the clutch now. They ain't gonna play about their mama, just like Cecil ain't gonna play about his wife. So I feel like she got a good team. I do, but I feel like Michael really gonna push through. He gonna do what he got to do. That's just Michael. All right, so we go to the Met Gala. Simone look good in her yellow off the shoulder updo baby, her yellow and gold. And guess what, y'all? Simone gown got a little split in the front. What you say? Simone gown got a little split in the front, child, on the side, on that leg. Baby, it is cute. She looks good. So Dr. Simone and Cecil show up. Okay? So they show up to the Met Gala, and Cecil hug everybody, give a dap. She look cute. And Eugene say, he impressed. Well, they say they impressed with Eugene look because it's colorful with the child. It's nice. It's very creative. It's different. You got the tux out there, but then you got like the shirt and the tux together like a jacket or something. It's kind of decent. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's nice. And then Toya is in her red gown, looking gorgeous with some paint on the side of her face. She took it on a fashion note. And so Simone said the venue is spacious, it's amazing, and she's loving the artwork. They have artwork, they have artists doing artwork, they're hanging artwork. So it was nice. I like that. And she said she loved the artwork, and her money blindly went to good use. And Dr. Simone told her she did that. And then as everybody's getting ready to come in, we have Dr. Mimi, and we have they say it look nice and it's spacious, and they say hello to everybody, right? So they get asked at the door, Dr. Mimi and Steve, by the lady that's having them come in. She said, do you guys have the QR code? Dr. Mimi says, no. We were invited by Dr. Jackie, their special guest of Jackie Walters, right? Dr. Walters. So that Toya and Eugene is looking. They ain't saying nothing. They walking by looking. Don't say nothing. They ain't saying nothing to him. They ain't say hey yet. They ain't saying nothing. They just walking. The way they edited it, make it look like they ain't saying nothing. So the lady that was there went to go talk to Eugene and Toya about it. And Steve said at one point that they say that they were giving QR code tickets for everybody to come in, because last time they came in free, they just donated, right? So Dr. Mimi said she didn't even know, she didn't buy a ticket last year. So they told, the lady told Eugene that they guessed for Dr. Jackie. And Steve said when he told that he was out for donating, that didn't mean that you weren't supposed to tell him that he had to buy a ticket as well, because he would have brought the ticket, right? So he said there was no communication that they needed a ticket. So they feel like it's personal. So Steve and Eugene spoke and they came out, and then Eugene say so. He say hey, he say hey. He say, so y'all gonna buy a ticket? And she say about that, she say Jackie said there was no need for a ticket. So Eugene say, so the table was paid for the event. First of all, y'all didn't tell Dr. Jackie that they had to get a ticket. See, this is why everybody said there was no communication, because now everybody like, what you mean a ticket? What are you trying to say? Now I see why they were mad. I see why. Toya, you did good, but you should have said it was something about some tickets, sister girl. You ain't say that now. You ain't say that now. So as that go on, he said, Eugene say the tickets go to the students. He said it's $150 for a ticket. Exactly what I paid for a table. Exactly. He said if you come into a venue, you pay. He said Steve was in the NFL, so every person that was there to watch him paid for a ticket. He said it's $150 to come in. He said you're aware we gave $5,000 last year. He said, so do you want the ticket money or do you want the donation? And Eugene said yesterday's price is not today's price. So he said you get, he said I don't. He said for somebody that spent $5,000 on an ugly piece of gas, the BS this year is showing up to an event, and that is for charity, and that you trying to get it for free. And she said this is going directly to the scholarship fund. And so Mimi went ahead, they went ahead, not only did they pay for the tickets, they donated as well. So Mimi and Steve and Eugene had a conversation. He said, to be honest with you, bro, this is what Steve said. He said, I didn't like how that played out, where the husband is singled out about the ticket. And Eugene said there was a lot of confusion. Yeah, and Steve said, yes. He said, where does that confusion come from? He said, because Toya was trying to tell everybody in Jamaica how this happened. So Toya walked up in the conversation. He said the leader, she kept getting cut off and cussed out. He said the leader wasn't able to disseminate. And Steve said communication. And Eugene said, I'm sorry you felt like you was being cut off or singled out. And he said again, exactly. And Toya said, you felt singled out? And he said that wasn't cool, because she said, you know what wasn't cool? She said, y'all not supporting the cause. But Toya, that's what they told you last year and the year before that. But Toya, you didn't communicate this with Brandy or Angel or Mimi. You could have communicated there was a QR code and a ticket. They would have brought their tickets ahead of time. You said nothing. He donates to the same charity y'all donate to. But you decided to not tell them anything. So how you gonna tell them not contributing to a cause when you did the same thing last year and the year before? See, Tori, I'm gonna be honest with you. And I say this all the time. People expect for nothing to come around and miss them for all the things they've done, instead of saying, I messed up, right? You did that. Yeah, with the wine. So my thing is, you did all of that. But then when it was time for it to come back to you, I gotta do right to just because you did right to appease it don't mean it's still not there. You feel what I'm saying? Say you sorry and move on. Whatever come with it because you did the same thing twice. Okay? Sometimes things come back and it's a little rough. All right? So, and she say, and Steve say, well, come on, let me finish. She should say, none of this would have happened if you or your wife would have brought a ticket and your wife listened to everything I said that she said we're out. He say, I don't address women. I talk to men. And then she told Eugene to take it there. So Mimi popped up. He said, my thing was this. We were going to help and donate and buy a piece of art and contribute much more than $150. That could have been a better approach. And he said, understanding, it's some people that was going to wear all this art off the wall. And Toya said, absolutely. See, Toya messed up. And that's what Dr. Simone was saying. Your biggest people that were going to donate is Mimi and Steve. Steve still got his NFL checks. Steve still got money. He got stuff he doing that contribute to how they can live freely, including Dr. Mimi. Those were her biggest donators. Her biggest. You got Quad, you got Simone, everybody else falling in, but your biggest donators for that night, who be glad to spend some money for a cause, who glad to go, they don't care if they donate almost to $1 million, is Mimi and Steve. Those are your biggest ones. And you messed that up. You could have had not just the 150, 5,000 on top of some 2,000, 3,000. Baby, you could have walked away with $20,000 or more. 150,000 if so, but you didn't because you tried to be spiteful, and now it costs you not to get a darn thing. Dang it, Toya, that's what Dr. Simone was saying. You messed it up. You could have them your biggest donators. They donated huge last year. They donated more than anybody, to be honest. Between Quad, Phaedra, and them, all of them donated a lot of money last year. You could have really had you hosting this would have been one of your biggest donators. Meaning you would have had Quad, Steve, and Mimi as their donators. Yeah. She told him to take it there. Like the hell? Now they missed out on the donations. Because them her three bigger donators. Now you done jacked it up. Oh, she is that girl there. So now, Steve saying it was in poor taste. And Steve said you would rather have $300 than $5, $10, $15, $20,000. Like I said, all art could have been sold. Somebody's scholarship could have been paid for. But no, you can't put that aside. And Toya saying nobody can come through the door unless they brought a ticket. Dr. Mimi said that may not be true based on my conversations with Brandy and them. And Brandy didn't buy a ticket. And Brandy didn't buy her ticket. So Toya say that she brought her ticket today. Mimi say Brandy ain't buy no ticket. And like Mimi said, Toya got something against her. She say she can't put her finger on it. Simone had brought 10 tickets. And, Mimi say she can't give any more to herself to the relationship. And Eugene said he truly sorry she felt disrespect. They felt disrespect and they left it there. So then, you got artists doing artwork. Then Angel come in. And Angel came in, to see everybody. She met with Mimi. And then we have King came in. And Quad came in and met with King. And she told him he looked amazing. And she said coming away from the trip, she said she loved Kirk and ain't no doubt about it. But he frustrates her to the point of no end. And they're trying to just figure it out day by day. So Jackie said she wanted to make sure she gave her and Kinga, an apology. But she is kind of frustrated with how to deal with Curtis because Curtis ain't have to say that shit. Curtis ain't have to say that shit. She look at Curtis like an uncle. So, Curtis gave him a hug. King and Quad a hug and gave him an apologize. He said, "What I said in Jamaica, finish y'all. I want to apologize. You two are my favorite people. I want nothing best for you guys." And Jackie said, and we don't have to say if we offended because we offended. And Jackie said, "We want to say I'm sorry." And Curtis say, "I am sorry, guys. I just want the best for you guys." They say that, he said, Curtis said, "I've been around Quad for a long time, laughing, joking, and having fun." He say, so he just want the best for her. He look at Quad like that's his niece. And he say it wasn't an attack. It was an attempt to get that you look at things in a different way. And King said he was caught off guard. And, they all had their beliefs in God and stuff, and they have their own. And, he feel like God has their own, has his way for them. And, Quad say it's fine for Curtis to have his opinion. But the challenge comes in that and say he's coming across as self-righteous and judgmental is the problem. And that's her problem. And Quad say she never was officially harmed by it. She was baffled by it. And, they say they accept the apology and they accept, you appreciate them reaching out and know it's a bit disturbing. But King say he accept the apology, but he don't want to hear it coming from Curtis ever again. And, they gave her, hugs and daps and stuff, and they moved forward. Now we get everybody is there. Heavily ain't there yet, I don't think. And so Dr. Simone said this is representative of what our group stands for. Instead of them wallowing in the weeds of disagreements, rise up and, still support. So Toya say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming. Dr. Heavenly is there. I'm sorry. So Toya went ahead, her and Dr. Jackie acknowledged the scholarship recipients for the 2025 Med Gala. And they said they acknowledged two of them. And they said they introduced them of how they both individually will receive a $5,000 fund to go towards their medical tuition and overall education. And Toya saying it might not be $100,000. And, she had all the ladies come on stage and stand behind them. And, Bethany, which is one of the contestants, said, thank you all for supporting of us and continuing to donate and to help and support us. And then, to the minorities in their career, and it means more than they know. And then, Morgan said that she can articulate her appreciation, but she appreciate their scholarship more than they can imagine. And it's going to help them finish school, and Dr. Contessa say she remembered the struggle she endured. And remember, Dr. Contessa went into the service to pay for her college because y'all know, even though they paid for it, she still had a lot she had to do being in the service. And she said she remembered all the things that she endured to get her doctorate and to become a doctor. Contessa was in the Army, so she can go through a school to help pay her tuition for her to finish and everything. So yeah, her and her husband both had to be in the service for that. And when you are in the service, there are some benefits of being in the service. It does help. But at the same time, right now, it's kind of like, I'm just saying. So, she said if she had a donation to make, it's going to make a huge difference in their lives. Toya say, they did an amazing cause and they did it together. And she said she want to say thank you to all the founders and the support from them. And she said she appreciate them for coming today. And Heavenly said, can I say a few words? Lord Jesus, let us pray. Dr. Heavenly took the mic. Lord, Heavenly Father, please don't let her slip up and say nothing wrong, Jesus. I know this was filmed months and months ago, but Jesus, please don't let her say nothing wrong. Dr. Heavenly took the mic. Oh, Lord. Dr. Heavenly, Toya say, here we go. Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Jackie say, I don't know what about to come out her mouth, but she giving me heart palpitations. She say, I just want to say, I know we gave Toya a hard time, but you could have not picked a better recipient for this scholarship. And And she say, thank you for all you did. She say, bow down to Toya. You pulled it off. This is a beautiful event. And Toya like, thank you. Oh my God. And she say, you wanted to say that you did an amazing job. And Toya say, let's be clear. Heavenly ain't saying nothing that I didn't already know. Okay. And she started laughing. So everybody gave a group hug. And Dr. Heavenly say the grade she'll give us an F for conduct because she was a total a-hole. But she over the whole event, she gave her an A+ and it came out very well. And Eugene gave her some flowers. He gave her a bouquet of flowers, gave her a kiss, and told her she did an amazing job. Now Eugene, she have her some couple of drinks and y'all get home. She gonna be buck wild. She can't get her. I know she probably won the door that one time in her life. But we know how that bedroom turned out that night, okay? Y'all. I know y'all was a little loud, a little extra. But yeah, he gave her a kiss and she said thank you. And it was so cute because she giggling like they first got together. That's why she buried him, the look on her face. Like you can see, like she like, oh. That's why I love him so much. Oh my God. So he said she did a good job on the event. And he said the flowers match her face because she got a flower in her hair. And Mimi say it's beautiful. And they say they could give credit with due. And, they got their art. And Brandy say, what the art? This is art. So child, Dr. Contessa took the picture frame and put it over her face, child. I can't. And Dr. Contessa say it was a lot. The group chat was crazy. She thought they were going to walk in throwing hands, but they threw hugs and they so proud of everyone. And Dr. Contessa say she proud to be in the sisterhood of boss females. And, Toya say she can enjoy the rest of the night. She did a cocktail and a glass of wine. So as the night go on, they're all dancing, having fun. And then we get a recap. Michaela is there, which is Michael's girlfriend. She is gorgeous. So she finally met them. And now, so Michael noticed that she didn't say nothing to Dr. Heavenly. And he was like, you didn't say nothing wrong too. And he started dapping his mama up. She said, yes. He said, I'm proud of you though. She said, they start smacking hands. She said, yes, I said hey to her, but I ain't say nothing to her. He was like, yup. He said she ain't effing with her tonight, okay? She said she got a new commitment for her friendships with those who are being great friends to her. And Dr. Simone told Caesar, say Michael say he ain't see me at no hood. He say, I know, he told me. And then Simone said, but for somebody that don't have no loyalty, she ain't effing with her. So Dr. Heavenly asked, can she dance with Caesar? And she say she could dance with Daddy if she want to. And Dr. Heavenly say, Simone be mad at, mad forever. I don't know. I haven't heard nothing about it. I'm going to try to go on her page and ask her and see if I can get some information on it, if she's still doing it, because people want to try to wine. We do. I don't know, Toya, if you're watching, we want you to try that wine. Where your wine at? We want some wine, okay? We want to taste it, okay? We want to see how good you done. So then, Dr. Heavenly say she don't know what's going on with Dr. Simone. She hold a grudge. And Dr. Heavenly say she thinks she wants Simone to know that she's not mad. And, that they could be good as before. So Quad asked King, do he want to dance? And say, right now. She said that the producers asked her what does she think that the future holds for her and King. And she said she don't know. She can't say right now. And so they go and dance. And she said, is it okay I'm dancing with another man? And they said, he just looking at her like, for real? And so they asked Quad, would she say, would you ever say never, or you're just like, for sure? And she was fixing her makeup in confessional. She said she ain't got no time to wait. She said it might not be King. It might be somebody else. So remember we talked about how they were getting ready to divorce. I mean, not divorce. They were breaking up. And basically we had already seen they had got a divorce or whatever. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. But I can tell you this, reunion will be next week. So we're done with this season. Y'all know what time it is, y'all. I gotta, oh snap, we gotta get ready for our Sunday night, y'all, because we have 2 weeks until the premiere of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, I want you guys to know I will be live. We're going to have I'm going to have some cocktail drinks we could try. I'm going to put it on my community wall of some peach cocktail drinks we can have and some peach cookies we all can eat virtually together. And we're going to talk about the recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I knew that we were getting close to Real Housewives when we got the trailer 2 weeks ago. We have approximately 2 weeks, which means we have it's going to be, I believe, a 3-part episode, of 3 parts of this reunion of Married to Medicine, you guys. I'm so excited for Real Housewives of Atlanta. We have Pinky Cole and K. Michelle added to the cast. And I'm excited to see how this turned out, honey. It's a lot of drama, a lot of tea. And we're going to have us some tea or something. But I think the first episode, I think we might go easy with a little tea. So y'all let me know if we can do cocktails or tea for the first episode. But coming on when we get further in, we're going to have to make sure we have us some cocktails, okay, to do these reviews. We will be doing a recap next week of Married to Medicine reunion. Y'all know that is going to be off the chain. And we might have to have us a wine. So let me know in the comments if you guys want Married to Medicine reunion on Sunday nights. Or y'all want me to do Belle Collective on Friday night if we can, or Saturday. If you want to do Saturdays with Belle Collective and Love and Marriage Huntsville on Sunday, along with Married to Medicine, let me know. We can do that. I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm going to end this live. We're going to come back because we got something to address. Yes, please get ready to know the new Housewives, girl, because this Melody, it's going to be a good season. I'm so excited. We are on season 17 or 18. 18. Yeah, we're getting ready for season 18. I think this is season 18. Because season 20, we might have some special guests. I feel like they brewing up for Nene to come on in. I don't know how they gonna get Candy on here, but I think they can work something out, okay? I want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in about 10 minutes. We'll be back in 10 minutes. So make sure your notifications on. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all. Let me go get me some water before we talk about this.